Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hopefully, you are totally well and fine and going strong with this routine. So, dear students, today we are going to start with our next and second type of a software, that is application software. So, as told you earlier, that we would be doing multiple types of a software, but the first type with which we are actually done with is system software. We are done with all the types of a system software, for example, an operating system, device driver, a utility program, as well as language processors, and all the three types of a language processor, which are an interpreter, a compiler, and an assembler. So we are done with all the types of a system software, moving towards the second type of a software, that is application software. So, an application software has further four subtypes. The first type is productivity software. The second type is business software. The third type is an entertainment software. And the fourth and last type is an educational software. Like a system software, an application software also has further subtypes. So the aim and objective of today's lecture is to actually deal with all the types of an application software. Before moving towards the actual topic, the foremost thing you actually need to know is that what is basically the differences between a system software and an application software. That must be actually easy for you, because you are already done with all the types of a system software. So you have already grabbed the concepts of a system software. So today we are going to do the topic of an application software, but before that we will discuss some of the differences. So an application software only performs specific tasks. It only performs those tasks for which it actually has been developed. For example, if you take the example of an MS Word software, the sole and only purpose of that software is to actually enable a user to create electronic documents. So the purpose of creation of an MS Word software was to enable the user to create electronic documents. So different application softwares are actually developed to serve different purposes, or any software which is actually developed to serve certain purposes other than the purposes of an operating system or utility program or a language processor. So the other type of application softwares which serve certain purposes, which serve certain objectives, are called as application software. So the application software performs specific tasks depending on how it has been designed. It cannot perform any other task that is beyond its scope. Means an MS Excel software is designed to perform the tasks relevant to mathematical calculations. So it cannot actually enable a user, or it cannot serve a user to create a document, to create an electronic document, while an MS Word software is actually has been developed to serve for the purpose of creation of an electronic document. So it cannot serve the purpose of calculations like an MS Excel software. So the application softwares only satisfy those purposes for which they have been developed, while a system software, if we specifically talk about its types, an operating system is used to manage or control the computer hardware. And application software, you can overall say that, if you don't want to use this word operating system, you can say that a system software is used to manage and control the computer hardware and application software. So application software serves certain purposes, while the system software serves these application softwares and other hardware. It enables these application softwares to come in contact with the hardware. So it acts as an intermediary between the application software and between the hardware. So the application software consists of a variety of programs that support the operation of computer. Application softwares can be of different types, and they can serve different type of purposes. while a system software consists of a variety of programs that support the operation of computer system. So all the further subtypes of a system software, either an operating system, either a utility program, either a device driver, either a language processor, these all subtypes of a system software actually are designed to support the operation of a computer, to support the operation of a computer hardware, as well as the application softwares running on the platform of that hardware, or running on the platform of system software, running on the platform of an operating system. So an application software cannot run independently. That is very important point. Application software cannot run independently. These softwares cannot run without the presence of a system software. That is so true, because application softwares actually run on the platform of an operating system. As you know, operating system is part of a system software. So operating system is the most basic software of a computer, without which you cannot switch on a computer. If you don't have an operating system inside your computer, or if your operating system got corrupted, got damaged, so the news is that you cannot switch on your computer, you cannot use any thing from your desktop, you cannot use anything from your start menu, you cannot use any app or application software in the world without the platform of an operating system. So operating system actually it lays the foundation for other softwares to run on its platform. So system software can run independently. Its operating system is independent of all other type of application softwares. Rather, the type of a system software, that is operating system, it provides platform to other application softwares to run on it, or it acts as an intermediary between the application softwares as well as the hardware. So an application software runs in accordance to the user requests, and it runs in the foreground. Means as you know that application software has been developed for serving a specific purpose, so it actually takes when the user is using the interface or window of that certain application software, so the user would give certain instructions or options choosing from that interface of that software, so that application software would work according to those chosen instructions or options from its interface as per the user choice. While the system software is programmed and it in a way that it starts running as soon as a computer gets switched on. When you switch on a computer, as soon as you switch on a computer, your system software, your operating system gets running with the help of a firmware software. So it keeps running, your operating system keeps running. As soon as you switch on your computer, your operating system turns on, it gets activated, and it runs in the background for the whole time your computer is actually working. Your computer is on for that whole duration. Operating system works on the background each and every time. Even if you are using some MS Word or MS Excel software, but even at that time when you are using that application or any type of application software, even at that time your operating system, your system software is actually active in the background. An application software is installed only when the user needs it. So the application softwares are installed only when some user actually wants to attain a certain purpose. That's if a user wants to create some electronic documents, at that time the user would install an MS Word software. If a user wants to perform some certain mathematical calculations, at that time the user would install an MS Excel software. If a user wants to create some database, at that time that user would use MS Access software. If some user wants to perform certain graphic designing stuff, it would install MS Paint or MS like Adobe Photoshop or Corel Draw or things like that. If some user wants to download movies, it would install torrents. So application software serve certain purposes. While the system softwares are installed on some computer device at the time when the operating system is installed, means application softwares are installed on purpose by choice by the user, while the system software, or especially an operating system, is not installed on choice. You cannot say that, because when you buy a computer from the market, that bought device or that bought computer comes with pre-installed operating system, with pre-installed utility programs, device drivers, etc. But if that operating system gets damaged with the passage of time, you can reinstall it. But you can say that system software is not a choice, operating system is not a choice. In any case, if you want to work on your computer, if you want to switch on your computer, if you want to run any other application software on your computer, if you want to run any other app or browser on your computer, if you want to install file and folders on your computer, you want to perform any activity on your computer, you have to install an operating system. But nowadays operating systems are pre-installed on your devices, so operating system or system software is not a choice, that is a compulsion. While an application software is a choice, you can install it as per your choice. So an application software is not mandatory to have an application software installed or running on any system. If you don't need an MS Word software, you don't need to install it. If you don't need to perform calculations, you don't need to have an MS Excel software on your computer. So application softwares can be installed on choice as per requirement. While the system software, when it comes to system software, the hardware system requires your all input output devices require at least one system software for the performance of its actions. Like all the input output devices at least require your operating system, because without your operating system your computer device cannot operate, or even it cannot get switched on. So an application software, users interact with an application software while using specific applications, while users do not interact with the system software as it functions in the background. User does not to specifically interact with the operating system when it comes to system software, because whatever you perform on your computer, you are clicking something, you are downloading something, you are opening a web page, you are going to some social networking site, you are creating a document, whatever you are doing, you are clicking the options, you are opening files and folders, the operating system is working in the background. It is there all the time. While when it comes to application software, the user can interact with an application software while using specific applications. You can take it as if we talk about some cloud-based application. In a cloud-based application stuff, user would need to interact with online cloud-based apps. Cloud-based app like Gmail app. You can talk about if you want to open your Gmail account, you want to open a Google Drive. These are all cloud-based apps working through the internet. So you would have to use a web browser like Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox or any other web browser. So you need to use a web browser. By the way, a web browser is an application software. So you need to use a web browser in order to use or get in contact with some other application software. Likewise, application software is written using high-level languages. Application software, as told you earlier in language processor topic, that software engineers develop certain softwares like system software or application softwares or things like that using some high-level languages. So application softwares are always developed using some kind of high-level languages. So system software is actually developed using low-level languages or assembly languages. That is not true all the times. System softwares, like specifically your operating system, is developed using some type of high-level languages. So you can say here that system softwares are developed using high-level languages, Low level languages, not necessarily low level languages, you can say that they are developed using high level languages as well as assembly languages. While application software has limited access to hard disks, to your memory devices, while your system software, especially your operating system, has unlimited access to your hard disk and memory. Even your operating system is that main software which is actually controlling your memory or storage devices of all types. Even your hard disk, even you are connecting your USB or connecting some outside external device like scanner or printer or digital camera or anything with your computer. So the system software, especially utility device drivers, are actually controlling their configurations. Likewise, word processors, web browsers or media players or MS Office softwares. MS Office includes further softwares like MS Access, MS Excel, MS Word, MS Outlook, MS Project. So these are all types of an application software. While when it comes to device drivers, operating systems, utility programs, language translators like compilers, assemblers, things like that are part of system software. So we are done with the discussion of differences between system software and application software. Now the important thing which you need to know is that what is basically an application software. So in application software, application software products are designed to satisfy a particular need of a particular environment. Means application softwares are the softwares which are designed to fulfill certain objective, to attain certain objectives. For example, the objective of a user is to create electronic documents on electronic pages. At that time, you can say that when that need was felt to create electronic documents, at that time MS Word was actually developed. When a need was felt for electronic calculations, so at that time MS Excel was actually developed. So application softwares are also called as end user programs, or merely an application, or you can call an application software simply as an app. Actually, app is the abbreviation. Its full form is application or application software. So an application software is a set of programs designed to perform specific tasks. An application software resides above the system software. The end user uses applications or application softwares for a specific purpose. A user installs an application software for a specific purpose. So it is programmed for simple as well as complex tasks. You can say that you can perform simple purposes, you can perform simple tasks like creating documents with application software, and you can perform very complex tasks like calculation based tasks with application softwares too. It either be installed or accessed online from cloud platforms. Interesting thing is that if you don't want to install an application software inside your computer, if you don't have space inside your computer for installation of that software, or if you are not finding that original software from the market, or it is very expensive to buy, in that case you can simply use a cloud-based application software. You need to go to a cloud platform, you need to make an account, and simply, or you can subscribe, or you can monthly activate, or you monthly pay some charges, and you can simply use the application software actually placed on a cloud platform from there. And the simple example is like email. You don't install any email account inside your computer. You are not using any such thing on your computer, but you are accessing your email account from the cloud platform. You are supposedly using a Gmail account. That means your account does not exist inside your computer. It is not installed inside your computer. You are using that Gmail app and you're accessing that Gmail app, you're accessing that your Gmail account from the cloud platform. Likewise, if you're using Google Drive, you are storing huge amounts of data inside Google Drive. That Google Drive storage does not exist inside your computer. That Google Drive app or Google Drive application software does not exist inside your computer. You are accessing that Google Drive application software from a cloud platform. So you have pure choice that if you don't want to install an application software on your computer, that's it. You just need to go to some cloud platform, and you can access on pay applications or pay as you go application software, or you can use free application softwares from the internet from some cloud platform. It can be installed or access online from some cloud platforms, can be installed from CD, can be downloaded from internet. That is purely your choice. You can install it from some CD, you need to buy the CD, you can download it from internet, you can access it continuously from some cloud platform. So it can be a single program or a group of small programs that refer to as an application package. If you talk about the Microsoft Office package, in Microsoft Office package there exist certain softwares. In Microsoft Office package there exist MS Word software. In that package there is MS Excel software, MS Access software, MS Outlook software, MS Project, and much more. So application software may consist of a single program such as a Microsoft Notepad for writing and editing a simple data, or it can be a whole package, and that package would further consist of multiple application softwares. As you can see on your screen, that an application package can consist of a collection of programs often called as a software package, which work together to accomplish a task such as a Microsoft Office package. And here on your screen the softwares actually which are part of that Microsoft Office package are displayed on your screen. You can say that application software for payroll processing produces pay slips. Application software for processing examination results produces mark sheets along with some other statistical reports. Application software can be used by the user to complete specific tasks such as creating word processor documents, spreadsheets, presentations, graphics, CAD or CAM software, sending the email, etc. So we can't run the application softwares without the help of system software. In order to run an application software, we would need an operating system software inside installed on our computer, because operating system is that basic software which actually provides its platform to run any type of application software in the world. So on your screen you can see that MS Access software, MS Excel, MS Front Page, MS Groove, MS InfoPath, MS OneNote, MS Outlook, MS PowerPoint, MS Project, MS Publisher, MS Visio, and MS Word. These are all part of that Microsoft Office package. These are all application softwares. While in the below diagram you can see that E symbol. That E symbol is showing your Internet Explorer browser. That it is showing that a browser is also an application software. Here you can see in this diagram displayed in front of your eyes certain layers of the software, one over the other. You can see that at the bottom most level, actually these layers exist inside a computer. You can see that at the bottom most layer inside a computer, at the bottom most level, hardware exists. As I told you earlier in language processors topic, that at the bottom most layer inside a computer, hardware exists. Hardware can be composed of certain components: input devices, output devices, storage devices, or processing parts. So the hardware here, you can see in this diagram that the hardware includes your memory devices like RAM or hard disk, etc. Your input-output devices, like your mouse, if some joystick is attached or some scanner is attached, or keyboard, and output devices like monitor or printer, etc. And at hardware level your processor means your microprocessor or your CPU also exists. So all the hardware components, either input, either output, either storage, or either some processing devices, they all lie at the bottommost level. They are part of the hardware. So above the hardware level, device drivers exist. That is very interesting, that device drivers exist above the hardware level. Why device drivers exist here? Because in these input output devices, certain devices are connected externally by means of some ports, etc. Like maybe you can say that you are connecting a scanner with your computer as an external hardware. So a scanner is basically an input device. If you are connecting some printer with your computer, so the printer is an output device. So you can also connect some external input output devices with your computer, and for these type of input output external hardware devices, you need to install the device driver. So basically the device drivers are making communication possible between the hardware components and between the operating system of the computer. Device drivers are acting as an intermediary. They are acting as a bridge between the hardware, between those externally connected hardware components, and they are making the communication possible of those externally connected hardware with the operating system. So they are acting as an intermediary between the operating system and between those externally connected hardware components. So above the device drivers exist the system software type operating system. As you would notice that above the hardware lies the system software, as operating system is the part of system software, and operating system is part of system software. A device driver is part of a system software. So exactly above the hardware lies the system software. So in system software, device driver is there. Above the device driver there is an operating system, and above this system software lies the application software. So the hardware, above the hardware there is system software. The types of system software are there, and above the system software there is application, and above the application software there is user. As you can see in this diagram, user exists at the topmost level of the hierarchy. Below the user there is application software. User is actually working with these application softwares. User is using these application softwares. Then the data of these application softwares, even these softwares are being handled by the operating system. These application softwares are running on the platform of the operating system, and the operating system is lying above the hardware, means the operating system is acting as an intermediate between the application software and between the hardware. Operating system is making the communication possible between the application software and between the hardware. So the application software is basically communicating with the hardware with the help of an operating system, as the operating system is acting as a platform for the application software to run on it. So the first type of an application software is productivity software. So what is a productivity software? Productivity software is used to improve the way people do their work. It speeds up the daily routine tasks performed by individuals and teams by eliminating the repetitive tasks. It actually increases the productivity of some person or some team. Productivity software includes MS Word software, word processing software, spreadsheets like MS Excel software, data management and graphic softwares like MS Access or Adobe Photoshop, etc. They are increasing the productivity as they are helping the user to get more done in less time. So if you have ever used a word processing program, MS Word software, spreadsheet application or graphic designing software, you have had some experience with productivity software. So these are the tools people use to create and produce documents, presentations, databases, charts, and graphs. It might not be the most exciting software on the market, but for many organizations and corporations and individuals, productivity software is a necessity. Although there are hundreds of examples of productivity software available out there, there is little doubt that Microsoft Office dominates the industry, because Microsoft Office has many sub-application softwares inside it. This package has many application softwares inside it. So that's partly because the Windows operating system, also produced by the Microsoft, is the most common operating system being used inside all the computer systems in the world. You need to know that Apple computers or Apple devices have their own separate operating system. Apple devices are not using Windows operating system, but the most commonly being used operating system in the world is Windows operating system. So the Microsoft Office is also produced by the Microsoft Corporation. The Windows operating system also belongs to the Microsoft Corporation. So they have designed this Office package, Microsoft Office package, in a way that it is the most compatible with Windows operating system. All versions, either Windows 9, either Windows 10, or either Windows 8 or 10. So this Microsoft Office package is actually compatible with all versions of Windows operating system. In fact, more than 86% of all computers in the homes and offices run on some form of the Windows operating system. So many computer vendors include full or trial versions of Microsoft Office on new Windows PC, which might partly explain the software's popularity. So the productivity software, also called as personal productivity software or office productivity software, is an application software used for producing information such as documents, presentations, worksheets, databases, charts, graphs, digital paintings, electronic music, and digital video. So in this diagram you can see all those application softwares like word and data processing softwares, spreadsheet softwares, presentation softwares, database softwares, graphic designing and editing softwares, file management softwares that let you create labels, business cards, and other specialized products, and organization softwares like calendars or to-do list based softwares, etc. So you can see all these softwares. Some are part of the Microsoft Office package, some are not, but these are all productivity application softwares. The second type of an application software after the productivity is business software. Business software is actually used to run business activities. It helps in efficiently running business functions of a company. So the business software or a business application is any software or set of computer programs used by the business users to perform various business functions. So these business applications are used to increase productivity, to measure productivity, and to perform other business functions accurately. So the business software is actually used to run the business, but it also is used to increase the productivity of that business as well as to measure the productivity of that business. So by and large, business software is likely to be developed to meet the needs of a specific business and therefore is not easily transferable to a different business environment unless its nature and operation is identical. So due to the unique requirements of each business, certain softwares are likely to completely address a company's needs. However, certain softwares are there which are necessary due to time or monetary or financial conditions or considerations. Some level of customization or self settings are sometimes required in these type of softwares. So exceptions do exist depending on the business in question, and thorough research is always required before committing to some software. If that software is not fulfilling the requirements of a business, in that case that business organization can actually place an order in order to develop its own specific application software. It can place an order to a software house so they can develop an application software for that business organization. So they can actually go for customized or specifically developed, some business applications are interactive. That is, they have a graphical user interface and a user can query or modify or input data and view results instantaneously. Nowadays all the softwares are like that. They are interactive, means they can take the input from the user can choose any instruction or option from their interface, from their window, and they can act upon according to the selected instruction by the user. So they can also run reports instantaneously. Some business applications can run in batch mode on the servers, like the server would be installed with some application softwares which would take the tasks of dozens or hundreds of users at a time, and they would divide them in groups according to the nature of the tasks. Similar tasks are grouped into one batch. Other tasks having other nature are grouped into some other batch, and that's how the operating system works in a way that the application softwares actually execute. Application softwares deal with these kind of tasks, and the CPU actually executes these similar natured tasks in batches or groups. So the example of business softwares are payroll softwares, accounting softwares, inventory and retail softwares. Common types of software used in business are, again, word processing programs are also used in businesses, account softwares, billing softwares, payroll softwares, database softwares, asset management softwares, desktop publishing softwares, etc., etc. These type of softwares are used in different business-based organizations or companies for performing different purposes, as you can see on your in this diagram, that they serve different purposes specifically relevant to the business. As some business has employees and that organization pays them with proper money, so in that case some billing software would be required, some payroll software would be required, etc. The third type of software is entertainment software. Entertainment software is used to entertain people. It includes games, audio video player, etc. Entertainment software is any software that supports a hobby or provides a form of amusement. So entertainment software includes video games, videos, and any other software that a user feels is enjoyable. So entertainment software is a form of application software or software that is designed to perform specific tasks for a user. So due to the loose definition of entertainment software being any form of software that provides the user entertainment, there are several pieces of software that can fall under its category. So one of the most common forms of entertainment software is video games. All video games or video game-based apps are application softwares. They fall under the category of entertainment apps or entertainment application softwares. Entertainment softwares don't have to be solely for amusement purposes. Many forms of entertainment softwares, such as videos, can be informative or educational while also being entertaining. In fact, there are several pieces of software designed to entertain while providing another service or experience. So examples of entertainment software are like screensavers, video games, any type of video games in the world, or video game apps, or arcade games, video game console emulators, personal computer games, console games, mobile games, any videos or torrents like softwares, video downloading softwares, which are actually supporting the entertainment, any apps on which you can listen to the music, so those like SoundCloud. So these type of apps are actually they fall under the category of entertainment software. The fourth and last type of an application software is educational software. An educational software is used for learning purposes, for learning something, educating something. Examples of educational software are programs that teach about human body, working of an engine, solar system, typing, foreign language, music. subject like maths or physics or chemistry. So education software is computer software with the primary purpose of teaching or self-learning. More and more educational software organizations, both online and offline, are coming up to help fill a need for some personalized or interactive educational experiences for students and teachers alike. So there are numerous benefits to these systems, and most importantly, educational software is a cost-efficient solution for educational organizations that want to manage information and data regarding their students in an organized way. So educational software integrates multimedia content, provides users a high interactivity level. Multimedia content such as graphics, pictures, and sound help engage students in their lessons. For example, when it comes to learning history, students could go back and see videos or other online based content related to the history subjects. Furthermore, an online education software benefits teachers, allowing them to better connect with the students and help them keep students interested in a lesson. Finally, it also promotes a productive learning environment. Examples could be like, if you take the example of a student learning management system, I would give you an example of a software which you are currently using. That is if I say about your online web portal system. That is actually an online database. You are using. So that web portal is actually a student management system or learning management system. So that learning management system or your online web portal can help you with admissions. That web portal can have certain options which can help you with admissions or with your content, with your assessment. You can get your notes or material from there. If somebody uploads that, you can get your registration done from there. You can get your timetable from there. So you can go you can have your fee slips from there. You can collect your fee slips from there. So different types of educational softwares are there. For example, an authoring system. What are authoring systems? They can create multimedia contents like reviews, lessons, and tutorials. So authoring systems are basically educational application softwares. So second type is of an educational software is desktop publishing. Desktop publishing software is used to create and design handouts, newsletters, and flyers. Third type of an educational software can be a graphics software. Students can use graphics software to capture, create, and change images available on the internet, on the program itself, or images available online. So it is especially useful for creating online presentations. So another type of an educational software could be reference software. Teachers can include reference softwares in their research projects. Reference software lets the students access the encyclopedias or atlases or dictionaries and thesauruses. The fifth type of an educational application software can be drill and practice softwares. These type of softwares are beneficial when teachers are trying to prepare students for exams and tests. So it assists teachers in preparing tests, quizzes, and even functions as a grading book. So the teachers that are not used to technology, these softwares can help them. So dear students, we are done with today's lecture. We are done with all the types of system software till date. We are done with all the types of an application software, productivity software, educational software, entertainment software. So we are done with all the types of an application software. In fact, we are done with the two types of a software basically till date. We are done with system software, its types. We are done with application software and its types. Inshallah, in our next class, we would study the next and third type of a software, that would be internet applications. So signing off for now. Stay blessed, stay healthy. Allah Hafiz.